The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
Everybody, what's going on? Your boy E-Buck in the building, co-hosting and producing as usual. Ready to do this show that we do every Wednesday about this time called the Guru Sports Session. And you know we like to talk that sports with you. Of course, we cannot do that discussion without the Guru himself. That's that brother right there in Winter Wonderland this week. Young Hugh Lee, what's happening, Hugh?
It's good, man. Like the background, man. That looks
Yeah, I
really
like
cool,
yours too, my guy.
man.
I'm just waiting for Rudolph or somebody to just pop out from behind, like, hey, what's going on? But anyway, the sports discussion should be pretty good this week, y'all. Tune in. Keep in mind, we are pre-recording as usual, but I will be doing some live check-ins as we air the show this evening, so we can address some of the comments if you have them. So feel free to put them and post them as we are showing this live. Well, just post them later on, and perhaps I will come back on later on in the week and address them if there's something juicy to go to. That being said, Hugh, let's get it started, bro. What we talking?
Man, college basketball, man. Women's, and we're going to talk about some of the men as well, man.
It's been good so far this year, y'all.
It has been. I've been definitely enjoying it, man, because you basically were saying you watch more college, man, hoops. And before you even said that, I've been definitely watching, man. And one of the
I'm
games
glad to hear that, bro.
that stood out was the big girl, Big Red. That's what we call her. Aldi Crooks, man, hit 47, man. She had a 43-point game already, and now she got 47. And for the most part, man, it ain't like she putting in a lot of minutes too, man. She'll put in 20, 25 minutes tops. And to get those type of points from a person of her size, man, that lets you know that she got stamina. You can already see her footwork. And like you said, what I like about her too is she even got a better perimeter game, man. And yeah, I just been really happy to see Iowa State, and I've been glad to see her play and do her thing, man. I couldn't be more happy for her.
Now, this actually is a question of who you talk to and what you're thinking. Keep in mind, we're talking about Artie Crooks, the center for the Iowa State Lady Clowns over there. I do believe that's Big 12, I want to say. And right now, as we speak, she is the leading scorer in the nation. Matter of fact, I got some quick stats for y'all. Currently, Artie Crooks is the leading scorer in the nation. She is currently averaging 27.3 points per game, and she is also leading the nation in scoring proficiency, averaging 74% from the field. That basically means 3 out of every 4 times she get the ball, it's going in.
Yeah.
That's a good dude. Now, there's good and there's bad. Understand, we are going to post a picture of Artie Crooks later on as we do in the show. So just imagine that picture right there in the middle of us. And you will see that she is a rather large individual. You know, we don't like to fat shame here. What I look like fat shaming somebody and I got all this going on. But anyway, she is a huge woman. Keep in mind, she is not as huge as she was in high school. If you go and because it is online, just look up Lady Shaq, which is what they call her, and you will see all these various videos of her doing her thing in high school and in college. Now, here's the thing. As far as college goes, right now, at 6'3", that weight, she unstoppable in that post, okay? They basically have her go down low. Very rarely do you see a team single cover her because she cannot be single covered by damn near anybody in the nation. I'm talking about big, tall, otherwise. You usually have to double or triple team her. I would say she is probably the most unstoppable post player since the great Brittany Griner in terms of that. But that being said, she's expanded her game because now not only can she go in the post, but she can go in the perimeter and hit shots, which is good. That's the good of it, okay? Understand that means her to be the person with the longest active streak of consecutive double-digit scoring games. She currently has scored double digits in 76 consecutive games as of her freshman year, which is pretty impressive. But that being said, she's only averaging about 26 minutes a game. So not only is she doing this, but she's doing this in about half a game. And they say that is because of the following. Contradictory to what my brother just said. What is her weaknesses? According to the Google, Crooks is considered a defensive liability, particularly when matched up against players with greater height or speed. Her defensive rebounding and rim protection are not considered elite for her position at a professional level. Also, she is widely noted is the concern for her stamina. She is often requiring frequent substitutions and gets visibly fatigued in high-paced games, which limits her minutes per game, which is about 25 minutes. Now, if you've seen her play, you know exactly what we're talking about here. I would say on average, she'll play like that first 8 minutes of a game, and then she is gassed. They have her sit down for about 3-4 minutes, put her back in. Usually, the game she has trouble with, like I said, when there's people that she has to guard that's bigger and taller than her, and she thusly has trouble keeping up with them.
Yeah, the more athletic people.
Particularly when they are perimeter players, like, say, Lauren Betts, where they played UCLA last year, and Lauren did her, okay? She whooped her pretty good. When they played UConn last year, and they had just a few, keep in mind, UConn was very big challenge last year, but the few bigs they did have, they threw it at her, and she had no answer for that because they was way too athletic. You know, because UConn does like to run the flow. When they played Tennessee last year, no, Tennessee blew Iowa State out because she could not keep up that pace. So that is part of the bad of it. Just like the challenge for Notre Dame is the fact that they have the second leading scorer in the nation. You know, that's Elena Hidalgo, who we talked about a couple weeks ago. But her challenge is that she is a shorter point guard than your average point guard now in Division I. So oftentimes now point guards take her in the post and post her up, where her ability to steal the ball is not quite as good. So that's where we at with that. But yeah, definitely, if you get a chance to check out Iowa State, check out Audie Crooks. She is a load in that post, but at some point she's going to have to make some adjustments, you.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, because we were talking about the minutes, man. Like you said, we definitely not body shaming this woman, but
Not at all.
going to the pros, especially the WNBA, man, you mess around and have a really short career. Some people we thought that would have been in the WNBA is not even in the WNBA right now. So they just let you know that they really don't play when it comes to having talent and being like the top of your game when you go into the WNBA. So it's some things I would definitely like for her to work on. Because like my homegirl, Lisa Philly, man, she had to drop weight. She's still dropping weight, but she wasn't as big as, you know, our girl Audie Crooks. And yeah, I'm hoping she start focusing on that before she get out of
And the thing is, I think even if she stayed at the way she was now, she would be effective in the WNBA. I just can't see her being a starter in a WNBA.
Not at all.
She would have to be somebody that came off the bench and you get the minutes that way. And, you know, bottom line, even WNBA players would have trouble with her in the post, most of them. So I could still see her being a scorer, just not on the level.
She would have issues though at the same time as far as, you know, her minutes and, you know, just putting up with a lot of the talent over there, you know.
Right.
So she'll have her problems. So I'm definitely hoping that she start focusing on that, you know, if she wants to go up to the next level of WNBA, which I believe she would. I would definitely start working on that right now if I was trying to slim down to get her weight under control.
Or at least work in her conditioning to where the weight is not so much a factor.
Yeah. Because she would definitely need that. Because in the WNBA is all on business.
Did.
And I've been seeing some of the stuff going on too with the CBA and some of the things they trying to work out still. I still don't think it's going to be enough for them to actually keep that other league quiet, man. That's my opinion.
I mean, long story short, that league is very much, like I said, looking like Live in the golf situation, where they're gonna pay players 10 and 20 times more than what they making in the W, and it's hard to deny that money. And they're doing it at the right time, because keep in mind, we know this draft here coming up for the WNBA gonna be a pretty decent one, but next year's draft, which arguably might be the best basketball draft of all time for men or women, that league is coming right in time for that.
Yeah.
And I think we end up with a situation like the NFL had with USFL in the first couple of years, where some of their best players was like, I ain't even worried about the NFL. I'm going straight to the USFL. They paying more money.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, man. Getting paid right now. And they're not still taking care of the women like they should. And it's like, why you got to go through 3-4 negotiations, postponing and redoing them? Like, come on, you guys, man. You already see what the other, league has to offer. And you guys not even trying to even match that, even get to the point where, hey, whatever they're paying, we'll match it. You're not even trying to do that at this point. So, yeah, they're going to be pretty disappointed come next season, man, because a lot of people are going to go the other road.
Because long story short, a lot of the teams in the WNBA have NBA owners who are billionaires, okay? And they making money hand over foot in the NBA. They could definitely put some more money into the W to offset some of these costs. Not to mention the advertising is there now. So, I mean, the crowds are there now. People are coming to see the games. It's not like it was in the early years of the W, where it makes sense. We're like, we can't pay them that. Don't nobody even come to these games. They absolutely do come to these games now.
More celebrities and everybody pulling.
Absolutely.
Tennessee, man. That matchup when they play UCLA, man. I went and I checked that out, man, and I seen the video you sent me. Yeah, man, there was a lot of animosity in that game. Old girl definitely was feeling some kind of way. Janiyah Baker, man, what was up with that, man? And I understand, you decided to go to Tennessee because you feel like with Lauren Bess and her sister being there, that it wasn't no room for you. But after the game, rather than saying, I left because I feel like I did it and that's what I wanted to do, to go to Tennessee and make a better, way or pave the way for myself, you go there and, you get upset, with the coach, like it was her fault and you snub the coach, man. I thought that was unprofessional, man, but that's just my opinion. How did you feel about that whole situation? Because they did get beat up a little bit.
I mean, here's the thing. She played the game and she was the leading scorer for Tennessee that game. And, Tennessee's style of play is something you got to get used to. Again, if you are fans of college basketball, I highly suggest you check out Tennessee. They do things a little differently than most teams do because, pretty much all of their players play every game. And one of the things I found interesting is the fact that who starts for Tennessee from game to game is not based on, okay, you the best player, blah, blah, blah. It's based on your productivity when you do play. So that every day they look at, okay, well, this week you didn't do too good. You on the bench this week. Okay, this game you kind of got off. You starting this week. It matters from the standpoint of you, a person that feel like starting is what makes you special, but it really don't matter because if in the end you're going to play anyway, you're going to get your opportunities. So there's that. But that being said, that didn't work against UCLA at all. And the crazy part is Lauren Betts, the person who you think would have been the dominant person in that game, was not. You know how many points she had that game, Hugh?
I definitely didn't see her perform a lot,
man.
7. You know how most times when you the player of the game, they show you on the screen. Nah, she wasn't even the person. I think it was it Vasquez?
It was Jaquez, yeah. Whose brother actually her brother actually plays for the Miami Heat right now.
And she was balling, man. Yeah, she looked pretty sharp, man. And that's what's dangerous about them because you got Bess, you got her, and then you got her sister, man. They already had talent.
Right, her sister who hasn't played yet this season for whatever reason. I had to look into that. But don't forget they also have Kiki Rice on that squad.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's a lot of good players over there, man. So yeah, and it was like I just didn't really still understand because I know when you told me the story, I looked at it and I was like, well, she felt like she bettered herself for going to Tennessee, and then you feel some kind of way after getting beat. You know, I didn't think that was cool. I thought that was kind of weird.
I mean, keep in mind, there are going to be more of these types of situations that come up as people are transferring and going to other places. I do believe at some point this season, I want to say Notre Dame plays TCU.
Mhm.
I can see
Yeah,
that
oh, that's gonna get heated.
scenario.
LSU and South Carolina,
That's going to be
that might
interesting.
get heated.
I do believe my UConn Lady Huskies play North Carolina State, where Caden Samuel is now playing and transferred from UConn. That might get a little interesting. So, you know, the thing is, because it's set up this way now, certain players looking at it like, look, you didn't value me the way you said you would when you recruited me. So
Okay,
I'm leaving. And more times than not, Hugh, they're going to the place that they was gonna go if they hadn't went to that place. That's how that's starting to work out.
so
And
yeah,
in Parker's case, that is the case. Tennessee was her second choice, so that's how she ends up at Tennessee.
so I understand that
But in
frustration.
terms of what happened and her not shaking the coach's hand at the end of the game, that was kind of bush. It
Yeah,
wasn't. I mean, I can understand if you just kind of wanted to give her a little dap to kind of show her that, you know, I still feel some type of way, but
she
it's
straight
still
did the
love,
truth move, like,
right? Because you
like
know, if you watch that whole scenario at the end of the game, she hugged some of her former players over at UCLA. She still got love for some of them, but the coach in particular, not so much.
it was a
Clearly,
mess.
there's some other stuff we don't know about that went on behind the scenes with them too.
Absolutely,
But when
absolutely.
when all is said and done, you somewhere and you should be happy where you at. And y'all lost. You played hard. Move on.
Because I wanted to see that whole Malaysia for Wiley situation because we felt like she was being mistreated over there in South Carolina, and I told you last year wherever she go, I go. I wasn't
And
ashamed of it.
I won't even go as far as saying she was being mistreated. I just think she wasn't valued the same.
You know what?
I think her
Let's put it.
style
Let's
of
just
play
do
was
that.
something
Yeah,
that Coach Staley wasn't good with,
because she's harder on the guards than anyone else. So yeah, I feel
particularly
like
the point guards.
so. I
Agreed.
agree because she had like a really good star in the making over there, and I just feel like you said, it wasn't really valued to that level to me.
Right, because understand, on the opposite end of the spectrum, she's over there now at LSU, and Coach Mulkey's actually harder on the big people on her
Yeah.
squad, which is
So
why Lasario left LSU, and
mhm.
also why they lost somebody else, and I think they end up going to Arkansas, I want to say.
They ended up getting, what was old girl name from Notre Dame, the big who was decent, the Kovic girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they ended up getting her over in LSU. I didn't even know she was over there because you know how we look and be like, man, what happened to this person, man? Notre Dame had a few people leave, and I looked and saw her over there, and I was like, okay, that's why they making all that noise over there, even though they ain't playing nobody yet. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I do mean they play a bunch of nobodies,
But,
y'all.
hey, dude, I didn't even know Queens had a school.
I want to say Queens is a Division III school for that matter.
It is. Bad. On the other note, man, I want to talk about this because I know you're definitely this is like put a little bit of cheering you, man, because it was a rough week for us, man, for Michiganders, man. But the Michigan Wolverines raised to number 3 in the AP poll after beating Gonzaga by 40 points in college men's hoops. That surprised me, man. I didn't. We all know how good Gonzaga is and the production and productivity and the people that comes out of Gonzaga. I didn't expect for us to whoop them boys by 40, man. That was a statement, E.
Well, actually, it's a little discussion to have there because the tournament they were in, unlike most of your usual in-season tournaments, this one was for cash
Mm.
money. And part of what based who played who, particularly at the end, was the margin of victory. So, you know, you may be one of the 4 16s that was in the tournament, but if your scoring margin wasn't up to snuff, you don't end up in that final game. If you ain't in that final game, you don't get to make the big money. So that is why Michigan kind of went a little overboard
Yeah, that
with the
definitely
scoring. With
with the
that
money.
being said, they played multiple top 25 teams and dominated them. They look very, very scary right now.
Shockingly so, because I didn't think they was gonna be. We talked about. We thought they was gonna be decent, like in the middle of the pack, but not this fast, man.
I
We didn't
thought
think
they'd
they
be
was gonna be
top
advanced like this.
25 good. I didn't think they'd be top 5 good. And that's what we're looking
Absolutely.
at right now. And keep in mind, Michigan State not that far behind them. They look damn good.
Yeah. You know Izzo gonna have his squads playing though, man. You know, that's just regardless, man.
And the thing I like the most about Coach Izzo, particularly when he plans his season out, much like Coach Gino over there, they don't duck no smoke. They want to play the best of the best. And oftentimes it's the other squad to be like, no, I ain't smurfing with Michigan State. I don't want to play them.
And that's what you like about that dude, because he had tons of opportunities to make way more money
Right.
in the pros and stuff, man. But he just did
True.
what he loved, man, and that's what he focused on.
Absolutely. He turned down jobs where he could have been not only the coach, but the coach and the GM. That's how much he loved being a Sparty and also loved being a college coach.
E, how did you feel about this actually happened last night, man? Syracuse, man. Keon Anthony, man. Him and them boys over there in Syracuse stunned number 13 Tennessee, man. Did that catch you off guard, or was you not surprised by that?
Not so much, because I think Syracuse is still more or less running that 2-3 zone, and some teams just don't play well against the zone. And I think Tennessee found themselves, because Tennessee, much like their women counterpart, they like to trap and play that type of style.
Mhm.
And them two contrasting styles is what came into play with
Like
that.
that whole
So, I
school.
mean, I'm almost certain Kenyon is thinking, yeah, I'm one and done, and I'm ready to go pro. Keeping in mind that there's more. Another quick factoid for y'all: there are more players who are the sons or grandsons of former NBA players playing this season in college basketball than there's ever been before.
Yeah, because I've definitely been looking at some more games like you and E. When you think of Georgia, what do you think of? Football. You wouldn't think I'd be looking at Dominique Wilkinson, seeing what he's doing. But it's just things of that nature, man, that we had to watch out for. Big ups to my algorithm and us being sport guys who doing podcasts. So we get this stuff all the time about the kids who coming up, man. We even got the kids in high school I just sent you that should be coming up soon too, man. So
Right.
yeah, it's been pretty good.
I actually discussed with one of our fans. Shout out to who you're talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Maybe we should start posting a whole chat of the stuff that we post to each other, so people can learn some of the stuff that we learn. Because it's like every day you'll sit there like, "Oh, damn, I ain't know that," and then I find something you be like, "Oh, I ain't know that either." We be coming up with some stuff, y'all.
Man, this is another one, man. This definitely didn't surprise me, but it did surprise me at one point. I wasn't too happy. I'm being a little biased here, even I say this one though. This was from the women's NCAA. Texas jumps to number 2 in the poll behind UConn after beating South Carolina. I was a little picky about this one, not because of them being number 2. Yeah, I mean, you beat number 2, so you deserved it. But I was like, man, we only lost to the number 1 team in the country in UConn by 3 points, man. And I was like, man, did we get snubbed, or am I being a little biased with the Michigan being like where they're ranked at right now?
Slightly. I mean, right now I feel like there's 3 levels. Well, that's 4 levels. Basically, the teams that just show up and get beat every week, and unfortunately, UConn finds themselves in a conference where they got a lot of those teams. There's those teams. Then there's those teams that they just good enough to play some teams. They not quite good enough to play other teams. Then you got your upper echelons. People in that upper echelon, before we get to the real ones, is people like a Michigan State, a Iowa State. I think Texas, they are ranked a little too high right now, but they right about in there. Teams like that, Notre Dame's, those type of teams that's basically, if they play basic team A, they're going to wipe their booty with them. But if they play some of these higher teams, then we got a game on our hands.
Okay.
And then, of course, right now we got the upper echelons, which is basically South Carolina, LSU, UConn. Them 3. And then right a tick below them, I would put UCLA and maybe USC. Texas is right about in there. because they do have a good squad. But the thing is, when they get in foul trouble, that bench is short.
You could even sprinkle in TCU if you want, man, because
Yeah, I will sprinkle them right around in that little line also.
Okay. You got anything else you want to talk about in college basketball, man? Because
All I can say is, y'all, this next month, before we really get deep into the conference schedule, it's still some good games that's going to be played, particularly right around the holiday. So, once we get them going, we will let y'all guys know what they are so y'all can check them out. Because there's some really good games being played so far this season.
yeah, it's definitely been some that I was like, man, why is this on so early? Like,
Yeah,
yes,
matter of fact, I think I have one tonight. Keep going, Hugh. I'm going to look it up right quick.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, I was definitely happy with some of the stuff that I've seen so far in both, man. Because Duke even almost lost yesterday to Florida. Did you see that game, the men's? Woo!
Yes.
And for my man to make that 3-pointer, man, that was a prayer too when he made that shot. Because I thought they were done, man. I definitely thought they lost that game. What was your
And
thoughts
remember,
on that?
Florida did win the national championship last year, so they
Yeah.
still got a decent squad over there. Okay, tonight, the main matchup, because we got the ACC SEC men's challenge going on this week. We got Louisville facing Arkansas. Now, Arkansas is ranked 25th, but the two
Mhm.
teams they lost to was Michigan State and I want to say UConn. And
Mhm.
obviously, those two teams are definitely two of the better teams in the country. So don't sell Arkansas short. I can definitely see them upsetting Louisville tonight.
Don't sleep on that Clemson Bama game because Clemson could probably slip them boy, catch them slipping.
Absolutely. And like I said, we definitely got some good games coming up later on. I think it's another good one Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good one. A couple good ones.
Oh, you see
Saturday, we got Iowa State,
that?
the men's team at number 10, taking on number 1 Purdue. And how they are number 1 right now, I
Oh,
have
you see
no
that other
idea.
game too. I'm
Right. And then,
definitely
of course,
checking
we
that one.
got Duke, Michigan State. That's definitely going to be a
That's gonna
big
be
matchup.
what. I even like that Louisville, Indiana game. I don't think that's gonna be
Right.
bad.
And we got Illinois, Tennessee. That's going to be a good game.
Yep, yes, sir.
You got Auburn and
Woo!
Arizona. It's a lot of good games
Absolutely.
this
Yeah,
Saturday on the men's side.
we're gonna have a treat because there's a lot of teams that are basically ranked gonna be playing now. So yeah, this is the part of the season where it's gonna really get interesting. I love that Saturday games when they come on, man, and when it ain't especially when it ain't no more football, man. So it
Exactly.
really be something you look forward to.
Yep. So yeah, definitely be looking out for that.
All right, E-Man, I want to get into some of the stuff that happened in college football now, man. You already know, man, what I'm about to talk about first, man. Lane Kiffin, man, he left Ole Miss and he went to LSU, man. And a lot of people pissed off at him because he put in like 5-6 years at Ole Miss. And then, he said at first that his heart was in Ole Miss and, basically like he was going to stay. Then he basically say in the letter, oh man, at the last minute, I had to change your heart and I decided to go to LSU. Nah, you ain't do that at the last minute. You already knew you was going to LSU because the money was there. But do you think now, since this is going on, man, with the coaches and players bouncing the team, is that taken away from college, man, and the purity of college and the sport that we know as college football and basketball today?
Is this a serious question? Because I got a serious answer.
I definitely want to see it.
No, I don't have no problem with it because we are where we at right now with college football and basketball. And this day and age of NIL and transfer portal, if the players can up and decide, yeah, y'all ain't play me enough, or yeah, y'all ain't pay me enough, I'm up out of here. If they can do it, why the coaches can't do it?
They came
Not to
after
mention the
LSU
fact,
money.
not to mention the fact that these coaches been doing this even before the NIL. It didn't happen on many occasions. Let's take you back several years. Once upon a time, there was a coach named Nick Saban. You are very familiar with him, correct? At one point, there was a school with some big pockets. That school would be Texas, who said, you know what? Our coach got to go. We want somebody real up in here. Here's all the money. Go get us the best coach that's out here. Go get us Nick Saban. And so they was like, Nick, can we talk to you? And that first nigga was like, no, I'm at Bama. We winning down here. They just built this new facility. I'm good. Nick, you might want to hear what we talking about. And Nick took that meeting. Now, granted, in the end, he ain't go nowhere. And Alabama's like, yeah, we're going to make sure you don't go nowhere. Let me throw a couple extras in on the
But
stand.
he took that meeting, though.
But he definitely took that meeting. And he be a damn fool if he didn't. Now, let's go back to today and Lane Kiffin. Now, we know Lane Kiffin is not everybody's favorite, okay?
He's an asshole. You just be honest.
People have been not happy with that dude since when he went and left college and went to the Raiders and whatnot. And how that played out.
Yeah.
But that being said, that man got a family, okay? That man got kids, all right? That man is trying to secure a future for everybody that is his people. Now, okay, if you from Mississippi, you might feel some type of way about what I'm about to say. But okay, let's look. Mississippi, Louisiana. Come on now. Mississippi is the poorest state in the union. We all know this. Mississippi has challenges, particularly when it comes to recruiting. That being said, Lane did an excellent job in recruiting people to come to that team and make that program relevant in the SEC, no less, which is not the easiest conference to be relevant in. Now, that being said, he is being rewarded for that by taking a job at a program that is willing to not only pay him buku money, despite the fact that they owe not one but two coaches money for buyouts, but also are looking to say, look, here your money. What you need? Well, I need money for these recruiting dollars for this NIL. No problem. We got you.
It's going to be an open checkbook. You know that.
We got the state backing him, okay? The state is like, yeah, we approve this message. And because this is a state university, by the way. And was he going to get that at Ole Miss? Yeah. But can they afford to pay what LSU can afford to pay? In a state where ain't no one of those states where there is no state property tax, state income tax, and one of them states that's rich in oil and whatnot. Didn't know that about Louisiana, did you? Yeah, it was no contest. I'd been mad at Lane if he didn't take that job. And clearly Florida understood that too, because when they seen what LSU was willing to offer that dude, they're like, no, I can't afford that. I fold. He all yours, baby. So yeah, how it played out, I kind of don't like how that went. Because yeah, I understand why Lane was like, yeah, I do want to stay and coach this year's team or whatnot. He got some feeling for them kids in that locker room. Come on now. But in the same token, I also understand why Ole Miss was like, nah, we can't let you do that, bruh. So you can sit here
and coaches and stuff
and
too.
Recruit our players and whatnot while you doing it. I mean, bottom line is some of them Mississippi players gonna end up at LSU next year. That's like it or not. Plain and simple.
Eve, did you see that with my man's former coach James Franklin? Did you see that? He already got guys decommitted to, Notre Dame and was going to Virginia Tech with him too already.
Because understand, people, usually when it comes down to recruiting, is some places recruit themselves. Some people go to the school because like, that's Michigan. People gonna always remember I went to Michigan. And some people go to that school because like, man, that's Lane Kiffin. That nigga that coached in the pros and all that. I'm going with Lane. This dude that's the coach of Mississippi, he don't know nothing. And half these people that ain't gonna be here next year. I ain't trying to be no scrub. I'm trying to go to LSU and get me one of these before I go pro. Not to mention, Hugh, you seen that video I sent you of a new facility down there at LSU?
Mm-hmm.
When you went to LSU too?
I got family in New Orleans. I wasn't losing no sleep of going there.
You seen that $60 million facility, Hugh. Quit playing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at Lane at all. Anybody who is mad at Lane, I'm mad at you for not understanding. Because if you work at your job and the other job is telling you we about to pay you about 8 times more and you're going to have better facilities and we're going to get you some better workers, you up out of there.
I'd be miserable being at the other job thinking of what could have been. So I wouldn't
Absolutely.
even do that to myself, and wouldn't do that to that job. I'll leave and you can hate me all you want because I'm
You
doing what's
can
best
hate
for
me
me.
now. I'm out.
Now we got to get to the moment, man. We're gonna talk about some of the college games and football, man, and to get this take this bandage off real fast. We're gonna go into it. The team down south in Michigan Wolverines.
You first, man. You first.
Are you sure? Oh,
You
so
first, man.
I
You
know you
first.
want to take the floor on this one then. I feel like it was what it was. We was on borrowed time, and I was figuring, man, we were surprised that we punched them in the mouth last season. But I thought, yeah, man, we're definitely in the cusp of rebuilding. You get a guy just came from high school, and then one thing that we've talked about has been our kryptonite has been that receiving court. Justice Haynes didn't help us neither when he got hurt. So when I looked and I saw this game, I said, man, if they can at least make it competitive, I'd be happy. And it was competitive until it wasn't. And that's what I basically can say about it. And I looked at it and I seen the momentum change when my got kicked out what he did with the referee. And I said, man, yeah, it's about to be to change the tide and it's gonna be a long day.
Hey, long story short, we got to get credit where it's due. I ain't got to give enough credit where I say that team name. I look at that like, y'all remember the Super Friends? Remember that dude Mixoplick? In order to get rid of him, you had to say his name backwards. That's how I feel about saying that name. So no, I'm not going there. That team down south deserve credit for winning that game. Long story short, both of those teams are young. Both those teams have a lot of people that are younger players in the bigger positions, like wide receiver, quarterback, and whatnot. The difference is the players for that team down south, they are the better athletes, plain and simple.
Oh, it's you, man.
I could not see them winning that game. I love my Michigan Wolverines, I always will. But long story short, they had the better players. They had the better game plan. They
Yeah.
won. They deserve credit for winning. When all is said and done, here's a spoiler alert. They're probably going to repeat as national champions. As much as I hate that, I don't see anything that indicates otherwise in my mind.
Yeah, because
But that
at
being
first,
said, I said Michigan probably was only going to win 8 or 9 games this year. If y'all remember the preview, they did exactly what I expected them to do. They weren't quite as good as I would thought they would have been, but they pretty much lost to most of the teams I thought they would lose to. And they'll go to a bowl game, and I feel like as long as they don't play at SEC school, they're probably gonna win said bowl game. So there you have it.
let me take the moment and say, since you ain't gonna say their name, shouts out to my man's Keith Hall and shouts out to my man's Big Mike. I love y'all. Y'all was definitely talking to me. Y'all was like, who you got, Hugh? I said, come on now, I'm not stupid, man. I am a smart man when it comes to football. I said, I just feel like this is not the year for us. And it materialized that way.
Yep, but that being said, we know what we got coming. We know what they got coming. The
Mm-hmm.
big game gonna be a big game for years to come. But that being said, I see us being in a lot better situation next year when we go down there to play. And it won't be like this next year.
Let's go on to this game because I had fun with this one, man. And I know I basically misinterpreted something. Well, I said something and then I misinterpreted what you said. And my apologies for that, E. But the Texas A&M, I didn't feel like, and that was me saying something, but then expressing it. And then, of course, you said you didn't think they was the best team in Texas.
And I
In
still
which
feel that
they're
way,
still,
and why.
and they proved that just recently, man. Because when they played Texas, man, it was just basically like they folded under that pressure. Because when you look at it, man, Marcel Reed wasn't a Marcel Reed as usual because that defense wasn't allowing that. And
Mm-hmm.
Archie Manning showed out, man. He wasn't throwing it all over the place. I had 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he scored when he needed to, and he ran one in to seal the deal. But I have to give credit where credit is due. And that defense, the Sarkisian, man, they stepped up, man. And I just didn't feel like Texas A&M was ready for that challenge.
They were not. Keeping in mind that game was in Texas, and again, rivalry game one, game in Texas, one of the best places in college football to play as the home team.
Was my man's there? Matthew McConaughey.
It was a lot of celebrities up there. I mean, Ricky Williams was in the building, and there's a few Texas boys that was in the house. But that being said, good people, them two teams still ain't the best team in Texas, in my mind. And you know why I say that? Because the best team in Texas, they mop they boots and wipe the floor with West Virginia, 49-0.
And that's why we ain't even talking about some of those type games, which I appreciated. That you
Right.
talked about that, and
But no, long story short, give Texas credit because early on in the first couple games when they wasn't looking too good,
they
we
were
had
down
pretty
and
much
out.
wrote them off like, well, they
Mhm.
done.
We
But
definitely wrote them off.
Arch Manning put on his big boy pants and said, I'm gonna get better every week and I'm gonna improve, and this team gonna improve, and now they right back in the mix with everybody else.
Looking forward to next season with this team and seeing what they gonna do.
Yeah, that being said, Arch, don't do it. Stay your butt in school.
Pretty much. If you know what's best right now.
Stay your butt in school. It ain't like you need the money, sir.
Georgia versus Georgia Tech. E, how did you look at that game? Because
That was actually a good game till it wasn't. But that being said, you know, you particularly you been pretty high on Georgia Tech all year. You know, they still play that Georgia Tech style of football, but they're getting better athletes to do so.
Yeah.
That is why they played better this year. Unfortunately, I don't see them making the playoff.
Not at all.
They
Not with the losses.
definitely how they play should definitely be helping recruiting over there, though.
Yeah.
So I do feel like when we had these discussions about SEC and who in the mix, that team, well, no, actually they're in the ACC over there. So yeah, they definitely should be in the mix for the titles over there in the years to come, based on how they played this year.
That thumping by Pitt hurt them. So yeah, I don't think they'll be in the
did.
playoffs after that one.
Nope.
The LSU Oklahoma game. How did you feel about that one? Because that's the one when you were saying, Hugh, you never know what John Mateer that you're going to get. He's so bipolar.
And it's not so much he's bipolar. Clearly, that man and the thumb injury is still bothering him.
Mhm.
If you look at the way he throws the football at times, I mean, he already kind of had that 3/4 sling, but now it's more of a sidearm. And if you look at his face sometimes when he throw the
He's
ball,
grimacing.
you see him wince and grimace.
Mhm.
You know, we familiar with that because we had a quarterback here for the Lions named Matthew Stafford. And you remember that one season where he had the bad thumb?
Yeah.
And he pretty much played through that whole thing. And some games, Matthew was Matthew, and some games he quite wasn't. So, yeah, I think that's the thing. Oklahoma have the best defense they done had in about a decade over there.
Long time. Man.
And they actually have some good weapons over there at Oklahoma as well. It's just that with him being the guy, because the backup was not it. So they rolling with what they got, and what they got is good enough to probably get them in the playoff, but it's not good enough to win anything, unfortunately.
Not at all.
If he would have been healthy and played like they played when they played Michigan, right now we be talking about he on his way to New York to go pick up that Heisman. He was looking that good.
Yeah, I want to talk about briefly talk about the Iron Bowl game because a lot of people were upset. You know, I heard it from both sides because I got family in Alabama. Then the people in Auburn. And I wanted to kind of see what it was about. I stayed in the middle and listened to both sides, and it was pretty fun. It was interesting. I think that a lot of people were pissed off with the Ty Simpson when my man's tackled and went for the legs and they called that penalty. And some people was like, oh man, when did that become a penalty of that gratitude? And I was like, okay, so I don't think they remember that this type of injury hurt Carson Palmer and messed up his entire career after that injury.
Pretty much.
I'll never forget me and my boy Corey Canty. We was over at his apartment, man, and we watching the game. And when I saw that play, and I was like, well, damn, they didn't take this dude out the game, for doing that, man. Was that illegal? He was like, Hugh, man, it never was brought up, man. That wasn't a part of what was going on. And then I believe after that gruesome injury with Carson Palmer, that's when they started to look at it a little further. I think some people was like, oh, man, that was bogus that was called. Some people was like, man, so hurting a person and trying to end his career, is that something you do in a game right now? And it was like they felt like it was like just a tug of war situation where they felt like Bama was getting on the calls. At a few points, I said, hey, man, I thought that wasn't called correctly. But when you looked at this game, man, I was telling people you cannot sleep on Auburn, man. A lot of their games was very close games that they lost. It was just that they wasn't executing and made poor decisions on some of them games because they easily could have been a 500 team if they played better. And some of the mistakes that they made in this game basically showed you the reason why they were a 5-6 team at the time. But yeah, man. What is your opinion on that Iron Bowl?
I mean, the Iron Bowl is pretty much what you would expect. I would say outside of course, the big game, Michigan and that other squad, and then there's probably a couple other ones I would throw in there, like maybe the Red River Rivalry, the Apple Bowl, put games like that. It's going to be a certain amount of aggression and extra kind of something that come with them games because it's bragging rights. It's years and years and years of animosity. It's people that was recruited by both squads that end up one place or the other. It's a lot of that comes into play in that type of game. But also, if you're on the Auburn side, since the days of Cam Newton and whatnot, y'all been little bro. And us Michigan people can understand what that means. So you feel some type of way. And considering your record at that time, you change your whole season if you end up beating Alabama. Because at that point, then you go into recruiting like, you want to go to Alabama? You know who beat Alabama? And that was us. You want to keep that ball rolling? No, it's certain things that play into that. But that being said, I feel like you felt going into the season, Alabama would be decent, but not quite up there on playoff level.
Remember, I told you I thought they was going to lose 3, maybe 4 games. So, yeah, I underestimated this team.
And basically, right. I said what I've been saying all year. Alabama, one of those squads where they in until they not. And right now, I see a scenario where even if they don't beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, they still more than likely will get in.
Let's address that. They've been saying that too. And I've been hearing them say that the reason why, if they lost to Georgia in this game, that they will still be able to go in is the fact that when you look at it, they beat Georgia this year in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the last 2 years they had Georgia number. When everybody count Alabama out, man, they just play well. For some reason, Ty Simpson this year, man, he just stepped up to the occasion. Whenever you seen him, he wasn't rattled at all when they played Georgia. And I definitely want to see this matchup again and see what happens this time. But yeah, you was right. You said regardless, they could possibly lose 3 games. And this is a scenario where I will feel like they should be in. And you even said it before me. Remember, I said ain't no way. But to see who they playing now, shit, why not?
Right. I mean, because there's certain teams right now, the way it's set up, you're going to probably get played. It's going to be at least 2 or 3 of these teams that's kind of on the verge right now that's not going to make out good. Bottom line, if BYU don't win they Big 12 championship game, they out. And it's not fair because they probably should still be in. But yeah, they're going to be out of it.
You got
it's certain teams like James Madison. I'm sorry. Y'all got that great record. But again, like last year, y'all ain't really played nobody. So even if you do win out, you're probably not going to get in. And that's probably going to be the right move because let's just say they do put them in. And they're going to be 11 or 12. They're going to play one of the higher seeds. That's going to be somebody like a Texas A&M or Texas Tech, something like that. That could get real ugly for them.
I remember what happened before. Was it a game where we saw back in the past when Hawaii was playing good and they played
something to that effect, yeah.
And they got beat so bad that we was like, man, why they even put them in here like that? And everybody was pissed. And that's why I don't think that'll happen again. They learned from that mistake,
Right. And then, of course, there's that Notre Dame situation. And it's not fair. It's not fair that they can basically play who they want to play, how they want to play it, and they in the playoffs automatically until you put them out. Because hell, Notre Dame being Notre Dame, I could see them losing 4 games and still making the playoff. Just how it's set up for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, unfortunately, myself. If they
Right, because it's funny because, it's certain squads that want to get them back on their schedule, and they've been kind of teeter-tottering with it. Like the Michigans and the USCs of the world, who they used to play every year.
Yeah, they've been kind of getting dodged at this point.
Because if I'm Notre Dame, I wouldn't want to play Michigan in these years to come, seeing what they got coming in recruiting-wise. That's not going to help their cause. Just like I could see them not still wanting to come to the Big Ten at some point, even though that's the natural fit for them.
I want to move on now, E, and I want to talk about some of the games in the NFL. I got them right in front of me, man.
Okay, well, before we do that, that's a good time for us to go and take our commercial break. Good discussion so far, y'all. Hopefully, if y'all are chiming in, this is where I'm going to pop out the record and discuss with y'all some of the comments y'all have made, if y'all made any, and then we'll pop back in and we'll talk our NFL. We're going to get to a couple games, and I definitely got a couple things to say about them couple teams. So that being said, tune in.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my T-Sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Hey, this is your boy E-Buck, and if you're looking for some great desserts, something sweet, something to treat yourself with, please check out my girl Caramel Sweets here in the Metro Detroit area. She can make desserts for your function, your event, or just for that special someone you want to give something nice to. So check her out. It's Caramel Sweets. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate you. This is the Guru Sports Session. That is the host, Hugh Lee. I'm the co-host, E-Buck. When we come back, we're talking NFL, and it's a couple things I got to talk about when we get back. All right, y'all, we are back. This is Guru Sports Session. Hugh Lee running things, about to talk NFL. That's his jam, y'all. You know it. Let's go.
I had to dissect and cut it down a little bit this week, E, because what I tell you on Sunday before I went to bed, remember I went to bed early at one point and got back up later on that night. I said, E, this is bad. I can't.
Bottom line is because of the holiday, the schedule breaks up different, but the 1 o'clock games in particular on Sunday
were weird.
Ooh. Go ahead, you.
Let's start off with some of them Thursday night games. And I definitely wanted to peel the scab off real quick, and I wanted you to talk about this one. This is the one I definitely believe, if any of them, that I'm going to have to step back and let you go ahead and take the floor with this one. the Thursday first game, the Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Are you ready, E, to get in and do what you got to do? Because I feel like, regardless of the fact, I know you was looking before I give the floor to you, and you was like, "Hugh, man, don't be discouraged, man. Don't let this discourage you, and enjoy your holiday." Man, I had a good holiday, man. My older great nieces was over, and I'm like, that's what's letting me know I'm getting old, man. JJ's a senior, Maya's been out of school, and we had a ball over my sister's house, man. You just hanging out and just laughing and kicking it, And plus, I had to do my little operation over there, do a couple of, updates on things because that's what I do. But after all that was said and done, man, I enjoy food and family and having a good time and talking about one of my favorite shows, Welcome to Dairy. But I want to give the floor to you now and set it up for you to talk about this game, the first game with the Lions and Green Bay Packers.
Well, first of all, Two Unks Talking TV. We're going to talk about what that's going to be about on my Sunday show. We'll get to that a little later. But anyway, attention to my Lions fans, okay? Let's talk about this game, and let's talk about this season and some of y'all behavior in regards to this season, shall we? First and foremost, good people, yeah, we lost the game, okay?
Great game.
Let's be honest. We done seen some Thanksgiving games in the past where our Lions then got thoroughly beat. Remember the one year when we played the Colts, the Peyton Manning Colts?
Yeah.
And they whooped our monkey at the crib by about 50. Okay? That was not a good Thanksgiving.
Remember, we was whooping on the Patriots, man, and we were up 24 to 0. That next half, man, I think it was 25. What was it? 27 to 55, 56, something crazy.
Long story short, we done had some bad Thanksgiving game. Even in this nice little run we done had. And let's talk about that nice little run, shall we? Some of y'all at this point in y'all mind feel like the Lions should be going to the Super Bowl. Period. Full stop. That's it. I'm not even talking to y'all because y'all delusional, okay? Not to say that my Lions don't deserve to go to the Super Bowl at some point. Not to say that I don't want that to happen someday. But in y'all minds, y'all think we here now. We got the team now, regardless of what didn't happen, regardless of injuries, etc., we should be going to the Super Bowl. If it's not the Super Bowl, this team bad. If that's your thought process, I can't do nothing for you but tell you you're delusional. For you Lions fans that are here on the bandwagon and not enjoying the ride, let me remind you of a few things. First of all, once upon a time, this Detroit Lions organization had a team that lost every damn game of its season after winning every damn game of its preseason. Okay? It don't get no worse than that. I will never, ever forget that as long as I live. That will always be the worst Lions team of all time. Because in that 0-16, most of them games, we was not even in. Not only was it 0-16, it was a deserved 0-16, okay? Remember that? Remember the Lions where every year we had at least 2, sometimes 3 different quarterbacks by the end of the year. We ain't know who the hell was going to be quarterback next year. I don't even remember half the names. It was so, keep in mind, if you're a Cleveland Browns fans, you feel us. You feel us. You feel us even more so because y'all still going through that. But anyway, do y'all remember a Lions squad that had to always throw the ball? Because we didn't have no damn running back worth talking about? Do you remember them Lions squads where we had offense? We had Scott Mitchell and Barry Sanders and whatnot. But our defense was cheeks, butt. No defense, okay? This Lions team is none of those things, okay? This Lions team has an offense. This Lions team can run the ball most games. This Lions team does have somewhat of a defense, okay? This Lions team has beat decent teams this year. The problem is that, yes, we have several key injuries, okay? And I know the first thing y'all want to go be like, well, last year we had injuries and we still went 15-2.
Smoke and mirrors.
I need y'all to understand something about how sports has went these last few years. Understand, teams like the OKC Thunder are the exceptions. They are not the rule. So, yeah, they had the best record in the NBA last year, and they won the championship. Bravo. More times than not, the team with the best record in this last decade and a half, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, what have you, they usually do not win the championship. Okay? Ask the Toronto Blue Jays about that, for example.
Yeah.
Last year, who had the two best records in the NFL, Hugh?
Us and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Did either one of those teams win the Super Bowl?
No, sir.
That is correct. Right now, the two teams with the best record right now is, if I remember correctly, the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. I'm going to hold my nuts and say it proud. Neither one of them teams is winning this year's Super Bowl. Flat out. Bet all my money on it. Okay?
They have the strength of having really bad schedules this year, especially New England.
There we go.
Love New England.
Bingo. And
love
last year, did you see who the Lions played last year? Going 15-2. Remember how bad the Bears was last year? We beat them twice. Remember when we played the Titans? They was cheeks. Remember we played the Saints? So on and so on and so on. Okay? So yeah, we played a harder schedule this year. We lost more key people this year. Okay? Bottom line, our offensive line, not quite as good. Our defensive backfield, all jacked up. The Legion of Whom, yeah, they had a couple good games. But overall, nah, not going to happen. Okay. We're going to get to the predictions later on, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If we don't win this Thursday's game, I got bad news for y'all. We're not going to the playoffs. Period. Period. That is my boldest prediction. We do not beat the Cowboys on Thursday. We will not go to the playoffs. And when that happens, based on some of these calls I've been hearing, some of these things y'all saying on social media, some of y'all are fully ready to jump back off the bandwagon and get back on that whole SOL, and I'm not drinking the blue Kool-Aid no more and all that. I have a message for y'all.
I don't drink blue Kool-Aid, E, but you know I love my electric blue Gatorade, and I'll never give that up.
That's what I had to say to y'all. Hugh, you know you're my brother. I love you. That being said, if you're trying to put that shoe on, you wear that one. Because I'm saying, after all these years of our Lions being cheeks, and I still claim them regardless, paper bag and all, we got a team that's worth watching. A team so worth watching that we as fans are paying the most money in the NFL to go see them play every week at Ford Field, okay? We paying these $70,000, $80,000 a game for the suites. We paying this $100, $125 to park, so on and so forth. We paying $20 for beer, all that crazy mess, just to see them play.
I shocked you too on Thanksgiving when I told you, damn, regardless of the fact they lost, I still enjoyed that game. I know you thought that I was talking
exactly.
It was a good game because we had.
How many years y'all went through that with y'all families across the country and be like, yeah, we seen your Lions play today. They a joke. My Lions ain't no joke no more, okay?
Seeing some of that too, let you know the future's bright, man, with some of those guys who stepped up.
That's the next place I'm going with it. Our Lions, for all intents and purposes, a very young team still. Okay? Even that damn Jared Goff ain't but 29 when all is said and done. And most of these people are under contract for the next few years.
For
So
the next
who's to
40
say
years.
what happens? Now, granted, some of y'all who had the argument like, it's Brad Holmes' fault. He didn't pay for nobody. He ain't do this and that. Okay. Particularly the one thing y'all always like to go to, well, we ain't got no pass for because they ain't get Aiden no help. Aiden is only so much. As my brother Hugh pointed out on his hardcast, please check out Google's Perspective Tuesdays at 7. Thank you very much. But that being said, Hugh, let me give you a couple stats, okay? Who is top 3 in the NFL in quarterback hurries this season? Yes, that is Aiden Hutchinson. Who is in the top 10 in sacks this year
Mekhi
in
Parsons.
NFL? That's also Aiden Hutchinson. Who is also among the leaders in tackles for defensive tackles? That would also be Aiden Hutchinson, okay? Now, understand, Aiden Hutchinson is a very good player. He is being paid as one of the top 3 players in the NFL defense-wise. Okay, we can argue that to some degree. But he is definitely a top 10 defensive player. No, he is not, TJ Watt. No, he is not. I'll wait. Because there's only one other name to put in there.
Myles Garrett.
And ain't nobody in the league Myles Garrett, okay? Myles Garrett is the type of player that Deion Sanders talks about. Remember that discussion that Deion had a couple years ago when he said our Hall of Fame don't quite hit the way it need to? Because some players in the Hall of Fame, they just in there. And some players in the Hall of Fame, they him. And of course, if anybody can speak to that, it's Deion Sanders. Because when it comes to the defensive backs, he is him. Okay? Right now, Myles Garrett is him.
He gonna
Okay?
get that track record too. Sorry, Strahan.
He is the NFL Defensive Player of the Year right now and still 5 games. If he went and sat down the rest of the year, he still wins that unanimously.
Hey, how many sacks you think he's gonna win the sack title with this year? I'm gonna
That's
go with
the question
26.
of the day.
I'm gonna go with 26, 27.
I say he can get as many as 28 or 29.
You think so? In the next 5
I
games?
think so.
Let me see who Cleveland play right quick.
That's what you need to look at, people. But long story short is y'all is not giving the Lions enough credit. Y'all is expecting too much. Y'all done got spoiled. Go for it, Hugh.
They play the Tennessee Titans this week, so yeah, he gonna get.
And guess who's been sacked more than any other quarterback in the NFL this season?
Cam Ward.
That's correct.
I say at least 4 in this game. Let me see who else they play.
He good for at least 3.
He gonna get another 2 in his Bears game, maybe a 3.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get like 2, 3 in his Bills game.
Possibly.
He gonna get 4 in his Steelers game.
Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback at this point. I would not be surprised by the time they get to that game, but Aaron just say, you know what? I'm done. Go ahead and finish up, Mason. And it ain't like Mason scrambling run quarterback him damn self. So
he's good when he ain't under pressure. You know, I say mediocre at best.
Yeah, but bottom line is to my real Lions fans, enjoy this ride for wherever it take us. Whether we finally do get to that Super Bowl and win it, or if we just a consistent playoff team for the next 5-10 years, like the Pistons was back in the day, like the Tigers was back in the day.
Like the Steelers.
Did we not enjoy those times? Was those not fun times in the D? Understand, there are cities that don't even have no damn football team. And here we is crying and bitching about a team that still at least got a winning record and at least have a chance to make a playoff. When 5-6 years ago, when this fool was in charge, we was barely winning 4 and 5 games. And that's back when they was paying for people to come over to the squad. And look how well that played out for us.
And he was paying Patriots people though, man. Come on, let's be fair, man.
Hey, I'm just saying. I go back to that same point. For all y'all be like, yeah, if we just get so-and-so and so-and-so, we wouldn't get Myles Garrett, okay?
Ain't no
Now,
way.
if we did,
We
he
didn't have
was
the
a
money.
rental in the sense that, yeah, we would have got him, we would have paid him, but hell, them 3 or 4 first-round draft picks that we had to give up to get him, how much would that have changed the future of the Lions? Okay, and him alone was not going to be good enough to get the Lions to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
He's not doing that right now with Cleveland.
That's my point.
I want to get
Done.
okay. I want to get to the Kansas City Dallas game, man. That was another good one right there. It was blow for blow, toe to toe in that game, and it was like how normally it is. Not saying none of the defenses was bad, but we kind of figured this game, whoever got the ball last was going to win, and that's basically what happened in this one.
Give them Cowboys some credit, y'all. They doing the damn thing over there.
Yes,
Like it or not. And you know, I ain't no Cowboy fan by any stretch, but bottom line, they played the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, they beat the last 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl. You got to give them some respect on their name for that.
Yeah, they definitely looked sharp last week, man. Pickens was clicking, man, and he was one of the guys who I felt like was a headache, but I had to think about, why wouldn't you be a headache when you in Pittsburgh where it's like MIA for wide receivers? So he goes over here, keep his mouth shut, man, having a career of his life right now.
And not to mention, over there in Pittsburgh, did he really have anybody to really throw him the ball like that?
No.
Not like that. Him and Russ, they cooked for a minute, but Russ ain't like that no more.
Agree.
And him and Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been like that. Especially, have you heard the press conferences lately from Aaron Rodgers talking about his wide receiving core and how they need to start coming to the meetings and all that? Yeah, it's a bad situation going on over there in Pittsburgh.
It's worse than what we thought that it would be.
Right, but on the other hand, the situation over here in Dallas ain't quite as bad as we thought it was going to be. That Schottenheimer kid, pretty good, huh?
And that dude, Quentin Williams, and a couple of other pieces went over there, man. They got more pressure now in that interior than ever before. And guess who's laughing right now at everybody? Look at Jerry Jones, man, laughing. Running all the way to the bank with those extra picks and everything he got.
Right.
On top of what he has now.
Right. Now, here's the funny part about it, though. You got the extra picks and whatnot, but here, them going to be high picks. Because your pick going to actually be a high pick. And like that Packer pick going to be a high pick. So let's see what you do with them. Not to mention that this draft ain't lending itself to a lot of, this is a generational talent. We got to have this dude, our whole team different because we got him. Ain't too many people like that in this coming NFL draft, if any.
It's more diamonds in the roughs, and there's
a lot of player development going on with this.
Yeah, man.
But that being said, now back to the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know I got family down there in Missouri, right?
I want to know what they would talk about, E.
And they wear their gear proud and be all on the camp with it, and Chiefs champions and back to back and all of that. But then I listened to some of the sports talk down there recently. You would have thought the Chiefs ain't never won nothing in their damn life. Yeah, Andy too old. He got to go. We need a new offensive coordinator. Mahomes make too much money. Kelsey's too distracted by that damn Tay-Tay. On and on and on. Okay?
I've been saying that about Tay-Tay.
Man, Tay-Tay a billionaire and about to make more money with this new documentary coming out. But anyway, I digress. Look, y'all done went to 4 the last 5 Super Bowls, won 3 of them. Y'all sound stupid as hell complaining about what ain't going on this season, a season where y'all still might actually make the playoffs, by the way. When y'all got all them rings to talk about. I'm a damn Lions fan. We ain't won shit.
And they complaining.
Ever. And y'all crying. Because y'all got arguably one of the best 5 quarterbacks of all time, one of the best 5 tight ends of all time on that squad. Y'all got Chris Jones that's still disruptive. He's still one of the better defensive players in the league.
Office, y'all got
Right. Y'all got some decent people on defense. Y'all got some weapons on offense. Running game been kind of questionable. Yeah, we know that. But injuries, they do play a part in that.
I still like the Washington kid too. The cornerback, Trent McDuffie. I still like him too.
Long story short is when y'all turn on that game and watch Kansas City, y'all still watching a very entertaining team. Not to mention the fact that y'all ticket prices ain't nowhere near what ours is. And y'all have a better tailgate. Sorry, Eastern Market, but they do. That Kansas City tailgate ain't nothing to play with. But all that being said, stop crying. Y'all making out damn good over there. Ain't nobody laughing when you say you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Like they used to back in the day. Just like they used to laugh at us. Y'all got a good squad. Y'all got to start putting some respect on the history of what you're seeing in the moment. Every team ain't going to win every year. Stop being Cowboy fan in Kansas City, okay? Stop being Yankee fan over there in Kansas City. It ain't like that, all right? Stop being Dodger fan over there. It ain't like that. That's it.
All right, E. Bears versus Eagles, the Black Fridays game. What were your thoughts on that? They ran it down the Eagles' throat, man.
Really?
Problems over there There's a lot of problems over there, E. That interior got exposed, man. DeAndre Swift been running the ball like crazy, but then, what's my man's name? Monongalai?
Yeah, that dude.
Like, man, he's been there working.
Got a nice little 1-2 punch going.
Yeah, that's a good team because I think Swift more or less is like their third down gadget back, and my man's just running down your throat. Monongalai, man. Yeah, that looked ugly, man. They just ran it down their throat, made Philly make some mistakes, get a few turnovers. And and the funny thing is check this out. Who had a good game for Philly? AJ Brown was excited. He was enjoying himself. He was feeling himself. But when he plays good, don't it seem like they lose? Like he don't get the
games where they win and they dominate. Who is the person that usually gets the ball in those games? It's not you, AJ. It's that dude,
Devontae Smith. When they win, of course, when they win.
And I'm wondering what their dynamic is like. The bottom line is the teamwork aspect of that team, I think, is what's causing the issues. I think certain people do not care for AJ. I think certain people do not care for Jalen Hurts. I know certain people don't care for the head coach. It's some issue with the offensive coordinator over there. It's a lot of little in-between stuff going on that's starting to expose itself to their overall play. They kind of played past it all last year and won a championship. This year, not so much.
Did I send you that on Instagram when they egged the offensive coordinator house?
Okay, let's go there for a minute while we going off on rants this week. Okay, I got another one. Hugh.
I thought so.
Man, what's wrong with y'all? We love our sports. That dude right there love him some football, okay? But bottom line is, if the Lions messed around and lost all these last few games, he ain't about to call me and be like, yeah, we need to go to Dan Campbell's house and throw some eggs at that boy. I'm mad at him. Hugh, after I get through clowning you for wanting to do that, we ain't going to do that. Somebody in that man was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go egg that dude's house. He sucked.
Well, 5 of them, too. It was crazy.
What the hell wrong with y'all? It's a game. It's a game. When that dude leaves from being offensive coordinator, he goes home to his family. They may talk a little bit about the game, but in the end, he dead, okay? And now dad has to explain why not his co-workers, not people that y'all know and love, but basic person A decides they mad at him and want to tear up y'all house that y'all done decorated nicely for Christmas or whatnot because of what happened in one damn game. The same person that y'all probably wanted to give free breakfast to for a whole year when they won the championship last year. It's just stupid. Last year, that happened here, if you remember, where people was harassing Dan Campbell's family after we lost in a playoff. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to do better. This country is in a bad state of mind, and it comes from the top. Don't even get me started on that dude.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
I calmed down a lot too, man. It was more or less because not only just because of growth as far as a sports fan, but just that we have our own lives too that we have to focus on, and we're not gonna let no crap.
Dude,
like
compared to what's going on behind the scenes with me and this dude right here, that shit is petty. Trust and believe.
Absolutely, man.
Don't let the festive scenes behind us fool you. The struggle is real in this biatch.
Amen. I want to move on because I know this one's you're gonna respect this game too. The Houston Texans, man, them and what they've been doing lately, man, against the Colts, man. What is your take on that? Because you know what I've noticed lately, man? It ain't about stopping Daniel Jones.
Nope.
You stop it. You keep my man's under at least 100 rushing yards, Jonathan Taylor. You can beat the Colts. And that's what teams been focusing on. He's been their biggest game plan.
Right. And understand, they say Danny Dimes is hurt. Like the type of hurt where he probably really shouldn't even be playing right now.
Okay.
When you basically got an issue with your leg where if he get hit the wrong way, that boy about to snap in a couple pieces, you probably should be sitting down somewhere talking about some surgery. But right now, that brother is still playing. And playing well on a busted stick, okay? That being said, the Colts been playing above their pay rate all year. We know that.
Exactly.
But again, this was a conference game. And Stroud, when given time, much like our quarterback, Jared Goff, when given time, can handle biz.
He looked good that game.
And he did, because he was given time to throw the football. But went under duress, much like Jared Goff, as you pointed out in your broadcast. Yeah, the panic eyes, the happy feet start to go like, oh, damn it, coming. Get rid of it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened that game. That was a good game, though. Some of these other games this week, not so much.
And that's why we ain't going to discuss those games no more.
I will briefly go here, though. The 49ers-Browns scenario, look, it's some people that flat out do not want Shedeur Sanders to do well.
Not at all.
They hating on that brother something terrible. If y'all see some of the comments in some of the comment sections when his videos is posted, it's ridiculous.
Did you hear when Stephen A checked at one fan when he was like, oh, man, we're on here talking about Browns and we're talking about other sports teams. Why do you want to focus on him? And then Stephen A shut that dude up. And he was like, because it's about him right now. He's the starting quarterback. He won that first game when other ones couldn't do it. And he wanted to give him his flowers and win. He was like basically trying to figure out what the guy was so upset about and basically threw it out there for him to get the table. He gave him the floor. My man couldn't even do nothing with it, man. It was just he wanted to rant because that's what he wanted to do. He already had it in his mind. He didn't like Shedeur Sanders. And when that was the topic right there, that's what he wanted to talk about. But when he got to the floor, man, and was able to, get center stage and discuss what was the issues, he ain't had nothing to say. He hurried up and hung up the phone and got the hell out of Dodge.
Exactly. I mean, long story short, I don't see him at the moment. I got him on the other table, but y'all know what that's about.
Absolutely, man. Let's get into this one. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde Team of the Year. If we had a Jekyll and Hyde award, it goes to this team. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Carolina Panthers.
A game where you was going into it thinking, yeah, this about to be a butt whooping. Not so fast, my friends.
That young team is starting to play good, man. The offense is playing decent. The defense, I'm not saying they're top notch, but they make plays when they need to.
That defense is like top 12, but like the lower part of that top 12.
Yeah, like maybe in that 13-12,
Right. Understand. When they run the ball well, they tend to win.
Because they got that boy Rico Dowdle.
Sometimes they don't run the ball well. But then that seems to be the games where they pass well. Understand, I still don't know what to really do with your boy Bryce Young. Because on the one hand, the last couple of weeks, I've been impressed with him to a degree. But then when you look at the stats and see that In 9 of the 12 games they played, he's thrown for less than 200 yards a game. And his percentage is not that great. And he does have a lot of batted balls because he is all of 5.5 for real, for real. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that Carolina Panthers squad. I just don't. It would not surprise me if they made the playoffs. It wouldn't surprise me if they lost every game the rest of the season. I don't know. I'm just hoping that whatever they do, they work with what they got to do better. Because they look like they got something they could work with there. And remember that division they in outside of Tampa Bay,
they have a chance. Because, man, remember we thought that the Panthers was going to be one of the worst teams in that division, man. And it's the Saints. And most definitely the disappointment of this year was we thought was going to be right there neck and neck with Tampa Bay was the Falcons. And they're not doing anything.
Right. And then, of course, now they lost Penix for the year, so who knows what happens there. But
Curtis Curtin right now.
Yeah, Kurt is showing why he the backup, yes.
I want to talk about this last game too, and then we're gonna get into the college and NFL predictions. The Broncos and Commanders. That was a pretty much better game than I thought that it was gonna be. I definitely was like, nah, I'm not gonna sit up and watch it. Then I looked up and I started seeing on my phone what was going on, and I started keeping tabs. But I'm not really convinced with the Broncos. Is that why you feel that way, E?
Yeah. They a weird team to watch.
Their offense is bad, man.
They're a weird team to watch.
You know whose numbers just as bad or like pedestrian too? That Bo Nix, man.
Absolutely.
You know what? He's the AFC Bryce Young.
Yeah, I go there. And the thing is,
I know what to make of those guys.
Weapons-wise, he kind of got a couple, but he kind of don't. And the running game is suspicious, but when you look at that team play, you kind of like, what am I watching?
I see more defense.
They winning, but I kind of don't see how.
And they've been terrible.
They kind of just take advantage of the fact that most teams play them. They're like, oh, that's just Denver. And then they look up like, damn, we lost to them dudes. What happened? It's like that. Like I said, they got one of the best records in the NFL right now. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that team going to the Super Bowl,
heck no.
And especially if you're trying to tell me they're going to win the Super Bowl, I can't see it.
Me neither. Not at all, brother.
I just can't. I can see the Patriots more so than them.
I just thought, even though the Washington Commanders lost that game, big ups to Mariota because he looked good at the end, and it was a ball.
Yeah, and bottom line, Washington, y'all need to kind of scrub some of what y'all got going there. Y'all got too many old folks on that squad.
You can
it's
see
time
it.
To younger up.
You can definitely see it.
Mm-hmm.
You saying right now that's the Chicago Bears right now from last year. The Eagles.
I would go as far to say that for the Steelers as well. Y'all need the younger up also.
Yeah, and you see that they released Darius Slay, man.
Mm-hmm. And then of course everybody always thought, yeah, we should get him now. That's not gonna fix nothing over here, people.
Man, that dude looks slow. Hey, man,
and remember, the Lions have tried that the last couple years. Remember last year, we pick up Jamal Adams thinking he might have a little something left. Remember the year before, we got that Bruce Irwin dude thinking, yeah, he still leads you to do.
Yeah, because him and Jalen Ramsey haven't been doing so well over there, man.
No.
Okay, that maybe I thought I was tripping.
No, you're not.
You ready to get into like the college predictions?
All right, we're gonna take another quick little commercial break because we want everybody to get time to get their little pens and pad. We really like if y'all want to help us with the show and commentary. I know y'all be having some picks when we do our picks. Chime in. I promise you, when I'm doing the show tonight, if y'all do the chiming in during this part of the segment, I will come on live and discuss y'all picks with y'all, okay? That is my discussion, all right? And if he was still up and around at that time, he would chime in the comments as well, all right? We will make y'all that deal. So, yeah, let's take this quick commercial break. When we come back, predictions, all right? All right, y'all, we are back. I keep stealing Hugh's seat this week. That's because I'm talking too damn much. Anyway, this is the Guru Sports Session. It's time for our NFL NCAA predictions. Let's have at it, Hugh.
All right, E, man. I wasn't tripping at all, man. You had some stuff you wanted to get off your chest, man. I was there to let you do it.
I'm just glad we had a good show so far. I think we have.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
It's a championship game, E? Oh, no, man. Troy versus James Madison.
Say it again.
Troy versus James Madison. Is that really a championship game, E?
It shouldn't be, but it is. And bottom line, if Troy by some miracle beat James Madison, I don't want to hear about James Madison no damn more. And nobody's playoff unless we talking college basketball.
I'm a hater. I'm going to go with Troy.
Damn, he want the upset. I ain't going to do James Madison like that. Okay, remember, during this discussion, she will give you the point spread more times than not.
Yes.
We've discussed why I do not do that anymore. Y'all can go back on previous episode and see. But long story short, if y'all want to just put y'all prediction or y'all want to put it with the point spread, by all means do so.
By the way, that's a 23
Especially you degenerate gamblers.
Yeah,
some of y'all can't help it.
That's 23.5 for James Madison. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew with this upset.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make the point spread now.
North Texas, number 24 North Texas versus 20 Tulane.
Now, quick story about North Texas. They have a quarterback.
Oh, that guy's a monster. He's a stud,
But let me tell you his story right quick. 5 years ago, that dude was not playing football. Then he was. He was the quarterback until he wasn't. And he was the punter and secondary person, special teams and all of that on that squad. Didn't get recruited by no damn body. End up going to bootleg school, University Tech. Worked his way up. Got back to playing quarterback. Did okay. Then they let him play last year. He did good. They gave him the starting quarterback job this year. That dude might arguably be one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Hey, man, he's going to be a diamond in the rough when that draft come around. When he
right. So, yeah, y'all might just want to watch that game just for that dude alone. His story is awesome. I'm sure they'll talk about it on the broadcast.
I definitely got North Texas.
I definitely want them to win because I want that dude to win.
And Drew Mastermaker, man. I think that's the guy. He's a dominant dude, man, and he's phenomenal. Big ups to my Instagram algorithm, man, for showing me that dude, man.
Right, and understand another quarterback under the radar that we're not going to mention because that's not going to be in the picks, but Division II, Ferris State. Check out that dude, their quarterback. He definitely is going to get some look to in the NFL.
11 BYU versus number 4 Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech in the 12.5 point favor. I don't see nothing from BYU beating them.
I've said it all year. I'm saying it again. The best team in Texas is not Texas A&M. It's not Texas. It's Texas Tech. They will handle business and go to the playoff. And as a result, BYU will not get in. Sorry.
Number 3 Georgia versus number 9 Alabama.
Who you got, Hugh?
I got Georgia by 2.5.
You disloyal fool. I got Bama with the upset, baby. I'm rolling Tide on that.
And you already know what I'm about to say, man. It don't matter. They're still in.
Yep. I think both of these teams in regardless of what happens.
I think
moving forward in the college playoff, whatever two teams make the Big Ten or SEC championship games will automatically get in. Period.
They just playing for pride at this point.
Period.
Okay, man. Number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State.
Needless to say, what I just said.
Yeah,
both these teams automatically in regardless of what happens. That being said, if anybody gonna give that team down south a challenge, it's this team. And I don't think they got the defense to make that happen.
No.
So that being said, I'm going with that punk team from down south to not only win this game, but to go all the way and win the whole Smurfing thing.
I got them at a touchdown favor, but they got them as a 4-point favor. I got them as 7. I'm just being honest. And your Dukies versus number 17 Virginia. I'm gonna go with Virginia at home, and I'll take the 3.5.
Duke's still a basketball school, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
But they've been having some decent football these last few years.
Yeah.
I'm going with Duke.
But I'm saying that's what's up.
I'm going with Duke.
I'm gonna give y'all the chance for a breather, you know what I'm saying? And we want to jump into the NFL.
All right, let's do it.
All right, you already know we got this Thursday night prime game. Dallas Cowboys come in to face the Detroit Lions.
All right, people. I already gave y'all to it straight. If my Lions don't win this game, they're not making the playoffs. And some of y'all going to jump off the bandwagon, and I told you how I feel about y'all. In case you missed that part of the show, I'll say it again. Flat out. That being said, I'm picking this game not with this, but with this. I got my Lions. They're going to win this and keep their slim playoff hopes alive at the crib.
Not only am I going to go with the Lions, but I'm going to keep that 3-point spread at home.
I like that spread.
Dolphins versus the Jets. We're going to pass on that, E. Let's go to the real game.
Ouch! That game ugly.
The sad part is, E, I actually got the Jets in that one.
And I do too.
I'm going to take the 2.5 that they was giving Miami and get that to the Jets. Steelers, Ravens, I'm going to go with the Ravens, but I'm not going to go with that 6-point spread. I'm going to give them 3 points on this one.
Yeah, your boy Aaron Rodgers beat up. Sorry, y'all. Got to go with them Ravens.
The Aints versus the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Bucks, but the 8.5 is a little too much. I give them 6.
Don't take that point spread. Them conference games hit different, especially that conference down south. The Aints always give the Bucks problems regardless of what's going on.
Them boys fits.
So I'm going with the Bucks, but barely.
News too, E. Mike Evans back.
That helps. But keep in mind, Baker's still hurt. So
yes, sir. You're going to like this one, E, man. It's a sneaky good game right here. The Colts and the Jaguars. I'm going with the Jags, and I'm going to take that 1.5 point that they gave Indy.
I want to go there. I'm going with the Colts, though.
Okay.
But I really wanted to go there. Because, you know, I love that dude, Travis Etienne. That's my guy.
Me too. The Tennessee Titans versus the Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns with the 4.5.
I need the Browns to win this game.
Got to cook this game,
E. Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, so the ultimate quarterback controversy can keep rolling. Because bottom line, if he wins this game against that squad in a convincing manner, you got to let that dude finish out the season. If that dude get beat up and they lose to them, then by right, you can sit him down and I ain't got nothing else to say. Play whoever the hell you want at quarterback out of that.
Fun fact, Deshaun Watson is back in practice too.
To make it more interesting.
Washington Commanders versus the Vikings. I'm going to go with the Commanders, and I'm going to take the 2.5 points that they was giving the Vikings.
Speaking of ugly games last week, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Them Vikings was ass. I got to go with Commanders, dog. Because I think we still get that same quarterback this week. Ooh, good luck, kid.
Seattle Seahawks versus the Falcons. I'm going to go with Seattle, and I'm going to take them.
I got to start putting some respect on Seattle, y'all.
The defense is ferocious.
Even though I still say when push comes to shove, that dude going to start seeing ghosts again. But
the ghost
right now, I'm going with Seattle.
Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to give the Bills the home advantage, and I'll give them the 5.5 for goodness sake.
I'm going with the Bills, but not that point spread because Burrow is back. He done got a game to get himself together.